we don't have a problem of answers anymore. We have a problem of questions. If you don't leverage AI in some months, 1 year or 2 years, if I don't use AI, I'm going to be like the DVD store and you're going to be Netflix. Who do you think the client will choose? My father died unexpectedly, so I needed to make a lot of appointments. This really saved my life because I managed to make the production to pay the inheritance tax that I had to pay because my father died and everything, and save our house. So that taught me a lesson that technology can really save my life. Everybody out there say adapt or die. This is the negative message.
My guest today is Panos Leledakis. He is an insurance futurist and an advisor who spent more than 25 years reimagining what a financial advisor should look like and actually does. He's the founder and CEO of IFA Academy, that's the International Financial Architects, and the inventor of risk analysis software built on something that most people in the industry never talk about, the neuroscience of how humans actually perceive risk. He's been awarded and won 11 awards for innovation, I think, and also been recognized by the likes of the MIT Enterprise Forum and one of the main platform speakers at the MDRT. Additionally, he has also addressed the audience at the NASA Space Center, where he's spoken about AI and the practical uses of AI, as well as human behavior. And that's part of what we're going to have a conversation with him today for. It's AI, human behavior, the future of advice, and where they collide. Panos, welcome.
It's such a great pleasure to be with you guys. I really enjoy your hospitality. I really like Dubai, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. So it is our pleasure. And earlier we had a conversation with the larger team. Loved the energy and loved the fact that there was so much that we got to unpack. So many things that we didn't know and now we're familiar with. But for you, at first, it seems like technology was more of a survival tool for you. Can you sort of go a little bit into that and sort of give us a little bit of context in terms of how that really came about?
How I did use technology, you mean as a survival tool?
Yeah.
It goes back to 2003. If you remember, I shared my story. I was a young advisor and my father died unexpectedly. So I needed to make a lot of appointments. So I had a great mentor that he taught me how to prospect so I could make more appointments, but I didn't even have a car. So I need to find the way to do in a different way, to think out of the box. So at some point I thought maybe I could use Skype. In 2003, Skype was very innovative and very new, whatever, to make meetings with clients. Not like today Zoom is the actual thing and the normal thing. At that point it was so innovative. And everybody was telling me that it cannot be used. People, they don't like it. They will not buy insurance from the Skype. But eventually I was stubborn enough. I played with this technology. I taught my clients how to use it. They liked this game. So I created a concept around that. And it helped me, let's say, to make at least 3 or 4 appointments a day at the time. And this really saved my life because I managed to make the production to pay the inheritance tax that I had to pay because my father died and everything, and save our house. So that taught me a lesson that technology can really save my life. And then it was a survival strategy, how to invest more and more in technology to be always ahead of the time. And it paid off.
That's amazing. So you've used it, you used adversity in a sense to be able to propel you towards using technology to sort of get your production up and fulfill and sort out the needs. Taking from there, so when you look at others who are there today, whether in the past or even now, especially financial advisors, what do you think they get wrong about technology, about the approach to technology?
It's not that they're getting something wrong. It's like a human behavior statistics. There is always the innovator. I showed you the infusion of innovation chart. So you have same innovators that they like to experiment. They are curious about life. They are curious about new technologies and they leverage them. They are the early adopters there. It's almost 13% of the people. Then you have the first majority and the late majority. And you have some people that they're they never follow the thing. Most of the times the history taught us that they are extinct, they're getting out of the market. So it's human behavior, but I don't think the financial advisors are behind. It's like a matter of percentage. Some of people are ahead of the curve. Some people, they have great resistance to use something and they're going to use it when it becomes the norm. So always the pioneers, they have risks, but they position themselves and they have all the benefits like going first to the market.
Yeah.
It's the same way that we convince clients to do something about insurance or financial planning or whatever. You have to show them the benefits, you have to convince them to have an open mind, you have to help them try out some of the things and see the first benefits, and some of them they're going to take it from there and go on. But they need always the pioneers to push them a little bit to the right direction.
Correct. Okay, so that's keeping an open mind and getting sort of having someone who can push it. I think that's great advice. Anything that you would say, one of the things that we keep hearing, and I'm sort of going a little more left field, because one of the things that I hear from advisors frequently is that how will clients perceive me if I'm using technology or if I'm using AI particularly? What is my value add? And there's a bit of fear from there that what is my job, and will the client look at advice coming from AI differently versus coming from me? How do you address, or how do you speak to the advisors on that?
It's a legit concern, because we see how this is evolving, and now it's the era that we're going to see people losing their jobs. This is going to happen. For some jobs, it's going to happen. Like the agentic era that we have entered already, meaning that from generative AI, meaning you just ask ChatGPT, you get a response. This is generative AI. We're going to the agentic AI. So now AI will do tasks for us, like an employee. Some of the work that's out there is going to be replaced, for sure.
Of course.
And maybe it's not replaced exactly. We need to pivot to different roles. Let's say from doing the task to know how to use AI to do the task. So you're going to be a handler, an orchestrator. But in our profession, it's a little bit different because it's a matter of context and not content. Because our first role, and most important, I think, is to sit down with a consumer and create culture and educate and inspire. And this, AI cannot do that because AI doesn't take initiatives. AI do what you tell them to do, or they reply to what you ask. So the clients, they don't ask. They don't have the mentality to go and say, what kind of life insurance should I buy? They don't wake up with this concern. They don't wake up with the disability insurance in mind or the home insurance in mind or whatever. So if you don't ask, you will not get the answer. The advice, it's mathematics. It's like you find the right product, you connect it with the right need, and you can. So AI will be great in advice. And people, the ones that they have some kind of consciousness, they can ask AI and they can get great advice. But two things will happen. First, they will not ask, so we need to sit down with them with patience, with love, with ways, understand how their brain works. That's why neuroscience comes into play. That's the one thing. And the other thing is they need to borrow our human trust. Because for something so important, they might find the information, but they want the validation that it's right.
Absolutely.
So here we come and we give them this validation so they can move forward. And a third role that we're going to have is to be their financial accountability partners. Because they might start something, as we all do. We start a diet, we start exercising, and we quit 1 month after.
Absolutely.
This is with financial planning the same. So we will keep them accountable and monitor the planning and change it as it needed to be changed and create all this journey together with them. So the advice is going to be almost a commodity at some point. It's not going to be the hard part.
That's interesting.
The initial inception and relationship is going to be the most important, and the accountability partnership is going to be the second most important.
Wow.
And one last thing that is important, with AI, we can create, because the people cannot create them by themselves. Some experiences, some tools that's going to make their life easier, like chatbots, like supporting systems, whatever. So if we can create them for them and create a better experience, this is also one thing that if we are innovators and we create these tools, we can now compete with big companies that are creating crazy good experiences.
Correct.
Because they're not going to compare us to other advisors only. This is one thing. They're going to compare us to other experiences they have from Uber, Netflix, Amazon, whatever. And now with one click, they have everything. We need to give them the same experience, and we can.
Yes. No, I love that. I think you spot on. The experience makes a big difference, because we know that now consumers and clients are expecting to have a frictionless experience most of the time, right? So they want to be able to get that from insurance as well. I think the other two things that I'll sort of pick up on that you sort of pointed out. One is, I love the fact that you're putting in the framework that advice is almost going to become commoditized, which is very interesting and absolutely apt, because of the vastness of AI and the data and the numbers that it can crunch. It can probably provide that. So in that scenario, two things come to mind for me is one, trust. Trust is extremely important, and that's built by relationships. There's no app for trust as yet. But relationships are something that is crucial. And do you see AI playing a role with the advisors in sort of furthering and building relationships or helping that create that trust and relationships with clients?
Yeah, it's several layers that we can do, because just let me finish something with the experience, because I wanted to say that because there is an analogy. Somebody was asking me for that and say, okay, let's say I don't want to leverage AI.
Yeah.
I like the way I'm doing things today.
Sure.
What's going to be the consequence for me? So the consumer is going to push you to use AI because imagine in the era that we have to rent DVDs to watch a movie. So you have to get out of the house, to go to the DVD store, pick up the movie, take it back, forget to give it back, pay overdue. We all have been there.
Blockbuster used to be a great example.
So now, if you don't leverage AI in some months, 1 year or 2 years, if I don't use AI, I'm going to be like the DVD store and you're going to be Netflix.
Yeah.
Who do you think the client will choose? It's very clear. It's like very easy. Like it doesn't need even to predict that.
Yeah.
So this is the one thing. The other thing for the trust is like, imagine now, if we would have this kind of information like behavioral economics science or neuroscience, I have limited resources with my human brain to analyze your personality. But imagine now what I'm doing and just sharing a practical idea. This is, as I told you, an AI note taker, right? I just click the button after I ask the consent of the client, of course, because or else it's illegal. I have the whole transcript. So imagine if I want to help you, not manipulate you, that's a different story.
Sure.
I want to help you make wise decisions. And from neuroscience point of view, I know that your human brain is resisting the idea that something bad will happen. And I'm using the wrong methodology. I will cost you a wise decision about something so important. Now with the AI, I can analyze your personality and I can help you not have the defenses. I can help the message go through your brain, and then it's your responsibility to take, because there are many cultures out there. You see people that they're very careful, and you see people that they're skydiving like whatever. So it's a different risk culture for everybody.
Of course.
But I can analyze it with AI so I can earn your trust in a better way if I can understand you better. So AI will help me understand the consumer better and help him better. This creates trust.
Of course. No, thank you for that. I think that's really useful. And that also brings us to something that we touched upon in terms of the neuroscience of risk. How did you sort of, from a financial advisor to a technologist and to almost a psychologist, what was the journey like? How did you sort of stumble upon or discover that?
I remember even the day when it happened that, because I had this thing that were bothering me all the time. I can see some parents, you see them, they sacrifice everything for their children. They don't have a life, they do everything for the children. And then when you ask them, listen, there is this possibility. If you die, family cannot survive. And they say, I don't care, or let me think about it. It doesn't make sense.
Correct.
In my brain, it didn't make sense. So I had to find the reason. So I was lucky enough, it was like 2009, September 5th. I remember, I had a friend that he was studying neuroscience, he was not even a scientist anymore. And I asked him how this can happen. And we started the research. So to make the long story short, we found at least 6 brain functions that they don't allow people to understand and accept risk. To give you an example, it goes with layers. The first, unfortunately, is the image of our profession that it's not what it should be. So when the messenger is not credible, the message does not pass. So we need to change our image in order to pass the message. That's first, to create credibility. Then there is something called optimistic bias. This is one function of the brain that our human brain is designed to make us survive. One of the functions is to make us try avoid pain.
Correct.
Fear is pain for the brain. So when I'm trying to convince you that something bad will happen, this defense is rising and say, no, nothing is going to happen to you. They don't want to believe that. And there is a way to bypass. Of course, we don't have time to explain that right now, but we need to understand how this module works. A third very important one is we as advisors, we're doing something like it's not right. We are using a raw fear. I was trained to go to the client and say, listen, you need to make the hard questions. What happens if you die tomorrow? And it makes sense, reasonable, but the human brain is not, it doesn't have reason all the time. So there is something called fear tolerance level. After we exceed, only 20% of the global population can make decisions out of fear, fear be the motivator. 80% of the people instead of fight or flight, there is a third way to react. It's called the freeze effect. So if I use a lot of fear, I'm going to freeze your brain, and you have two ways to react. Either you will stop listening to me, you will look at me, but you will not listen to me, and you will say an excuse at the end that's like relevant. Or you might listen to me, but you're going to be so scared that you cannot make the buying decision because it needs some mental energy to do that. You're going to tell me, let me think about it, and it's not an excuse. But when I leave this meeting, you will not think about it because it's scary, and you don't want to meet me again because I'm scared. So we lose both the client and the image of our profession. And one last that's very important. I'm not going to go to the two.
Please.
The last is something called instant gratification monkey. The human brain always prefers the benefit now rather than in the future. Always. That's why we take the pizza and not the beach bud in the summer, like 6 months after. We have built all our arguments as insurance industry in the future. So if you die in the future, I will save your family. And you have one person that doesn't believe that's going to die, and you put the benefit 30 years after. So imagine how it's not so powerful. Or if you retire in 30 years or whatever. So we managed to create some arguments that are starting of why can I be happy buying insurance today. Because all the other consumers products, you buy a car, you're happy. You buy a house, you see that, you're happy. You buy insurance, is the necessary evil. So something in the future. So we found how we can make them understand the value of insurance by signing now, based on the pyramid of Maslow and some other hierarchy needs of psychology, industrial principles. So if we change all these four, then we may affect and educate the clients better.
I think you're talking about digital risk insurance or digital insurance risk managers. So what would that advisor look like in your mind?
In my culture and my startups culture, we did all this training and research, whatever. It's very clear. I prefer the holistic advisor, that he doesn't do one product, whatever, because imagine that's the problem that we are creating for our profession. Let's say you are the consumer, and I come to you and say, listen, life insurance is very important. And another advisor or Ashok come and tell you, yeah, but what about your home? Home insurance is the most important. And then another comes and like disability insurance. So how he can decide? We confuse them. So in my case, there is a holistic way to consult them, and it's called risk management. There is an ISO 31000, a procedure, and it's very easy to understand. You need to identify all the risks for a client, the insurable risks, the risks that we can transfer to insurance, not all the risks, we cannot handle all the risks. So then we need to measure them. There is a way to measure the risks by probability of the risk to happen, the impact it's going to have to my finances, and if I have assets to mitigate it by myself. This way you can prioritize them, quantify them, and give them what we call insurable risk profile. So now I have a diagnosis. So I can take this data, understand if there is a problem that I need to solve, because we are going and try to push to the brain of the client that there is a problem. And when you push them, they resist. When they admit it by themselves, just laying out the facts, it's very easy. So when they see the problem, you say, okay, listen, you find the risk profile, you say, your most precious asset, that's your ability to produce income and your property, is in a risk of 65%, and we proved it together, because one of my ancestors, Aristotle, said that people are really convinced when something is proven. I can trust you and it's powerful. But if I prove it, mathematically it's even more. This is the killer combination. Okay, so if we prove it through risk management, then I say, would you like to see if the most important thing of your life that's in a 60% risk, I can make it 20%, 10% or 0%. If you want, I can go back to my office, combine all the tools that can make that happen, and just present it to you to see if this is the best solution. So if they say yes, then this is the ultimate thing, because you make them accept the problem. The problem is not that they don't like insurance. If I take a pill now and tell you take the pill and you don't feel sick, you will not take it, right? And the other thing that we're doing wrong, and people, they don't trust us so much, is like, imagine you go to a doctor, okay, and I look at you like that and I say, listen, I think you have a liver problem. Would you trust me if I don't do a diagnosis? No. So we are asking people to trust us, and it's good, and they should trust us eventually, but we need to show them also, we need to prove
back it up.
Or the worst we do is even worse, like we say, all right, this is the risk, okay, what do you think you should cover? So it's like going to a doctor and say, okay, what do you think you have? I think I have a liver problem. Okay, I'm going to give you the right medicine, but would you trust a doctor like that?
No,
so let's use science, you see, like let's use something, it is simple. And this, we turn that to a software that now is using AI, and we can do an insurable risk analysis in 10 minutes just with some questions.
Awesome. So that's fantastic. I think the approach is very sensible, and I think it makes sense from from that perspective.
We agree.
Yeah, no, we do. I think there are many advisors that are terrified of being replaced, but I think you're making the opposite case in a sense, right? You're making a case that the advisor is not going to be replaced. It's the advisor who's not using technology that's probably going to be a little bit of a problem.
It's too common. Everybody says that, but they need to understand what is the essence of that, because they are saying that, but we need to understand exactly what is the meaning of that.
Sure.
Because it's exactly what I told you. The consumer is going to have different expectations. It's not if you want to use it or not.
I'm going to go into some tools that you'd like to, if you'd like to share. Things you touched upon some of the things, but the ones that you see at the very basic level, if you have to talk to the advisors that are listening in, what are the things that you would recommend that they get started with? If someone is not really, or today I don't think anyone is not aware. I think there are people who are sort of aware and using some things, but they're using it for maybe more basic kind of things. What would you say to them? What would you say, is the next level, next step for them?
The low-hanging fruit that it's easy to understand is how to use, as we call the LLMs. Because many people, they don't even understand this term. It's not something important. I mean, LLMs is the large language models, like ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini and Grok, they are LLMs.
Correct.
So one skill that we need to experiment or learn or whatever is prompt engineering. Because the idea is, if you ask the right question in the LLM, you have infinite access to any combined knowledge, but you have to make the right question.
Sure.
So we don't have a problem of answers anymore. We have a problem of questions. Prompt engineering is a science. It has rules. So we need to learn how to ask AI to give us the best advice. Also, they need, as we discussed earlier, how to train your model to know you, so now it can give you personalized advice and information that's going to be tailor-made to your needs or to your clients or whatever. So mastering the LLMs is the first thing. And as you see in the presentation, people use ChatGPT just to write an article or to reply an email to whatever. But you see how many features people they didn't know. The features of projects. You can create projects and have mentors. The project of GPTs, the deep research, the agent, the cloud browser or whatever that they can do tasks for us. And people, they don't know them and they start to get to know them.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's a great way to be able to sort of think about things that you're doing in your regular day-to-day and problems that you're facing. So put that in, one of the things that you mentioned, an example, which I thought was extremely relevant, is being able to reclaim your time.
Absolutely.
Or from a time management perspective, I think so many of us struggle with it. And if you'd like to share how you approach that, how you use technology to be able to sort of manage and improve the use of time.
Yeah, I can share two quick things. The one is the one that I use the tasks of ChatGPT, that I thought of, okay, what is the rule of time management? You have to write down everything you do, analyze it yourself, and then find better ways to do things like more efficiently. But I've never in my life. I wanted so many times to write down what I'm doing. I've never done that. Now with AI, I have a different opportunity, because I found the voice mode, I found the task mode. So I say to ChatGPT, every 2 hours, you're going to ask me what I did the previous 2 hours. I'm going to open the voice mode, and in 30 seconds, I'm going to say. Now it gathers all the information. At the end of the day, it's going to analyze how I spend my time. It's going to give me great advice. It's going to give me also, as a personal assistant, all the things that I might need to put in a task management system or whatever. And I'm going to do it also weekly, monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually, whatever. Every time that I give more, every 2 hours it gives me amazing personalized advice on how I can manage my time better. Because as I shared with the audience, I have this ADHD thing, like the attention deficit thing. So I cannot structure my day as a neurodivergent, like as a normal person. So now ChatGPT knows, and it gave me amazing advice. And it changed my life. So this is one of the things. Or people want to improve their sales tactics. I don't like the word sales. Let's delete it. Cut. Let the advising tactics, the consulting tactics, whatever. So, but you don't have somebody to observe you, and you know that. In the past, I don't know if you have ever done that, we were recording with video our presentations to watch them after and see if we can improve ourselves when we're crazy to become better. Okay, but now with AI, you don't need that. You just create like a recording of your meeting with a client after, again, consent, don't forget that. And then I take the transcript, and we don't have time to explain how you can create a sales mentor that you take the transcript, you upload to the sales mentor, and you can have immediate feedback how you can be better in the next appointment.
Yeah.
Then the same transcript, you can have it in a personality chatbot that's going to give you the personality of the client. So you don't even have to guess now what kind of personality. It will give based on personality, global test, whatever. And then it's going to be a task management system. It's going to put everything that you need to create or sales opportunities. So how better it can be? Like,
no, that's amazing. You've got so much energy. How do you stay on top of things? I mean, you've got so much energy. You've got a busy, tight schedule. You're doing, you've got a startup. You've got the MDRT that you're writing business with, and you're also, talking around the world. So, what's your secret sauce?
AI, for sure. We have automated many of the tasks. I'm not joking. Like, if we didn't have AI, there's no chance I would do so many things. That's the first thing. And then the other, I don't know. I hope everybody finds AI so exciting that it keeps me awake at night. It gives me so much energy that I want to. I'm so excited all the time, like a small child in a candy store. I cannot settle down and say, no. I do see something I have to share with somebody. Like, look what it does.
Anything that you'd like to sort of leave our audience with in terms of things that you'd like to see them do, or any message for the advisors that is there?
Yeah, the message is like, I think you said that before. It's like maybe too common to say, but this is the truth now. We need to have an open mind. Yeah. All the big revolutions in the history are teaching us the same thing. People resist change. Okay. Yeah. But in all cases, we see that eventually we're going to adopt it. So why don't you do it sooner than later? Why don't become the pioneer and take the positioning and make the right impressions to the client? Yeah. Why? I know that there's a struggle to change, but it's better to struggle now and be ahead of the curve than follow later with whatever risks this comes with. Sure. So this is the thing. So keep an open mind, experiment. If you want, because it can be cultivated, cultivate your inner curiosity, wake up your small child inside and play with this technology. You don't have to be the master. I told you about the Kaizen methodology. Just implement one idea or search one idea. Allocate 2 hours and play with this technology. Just start playing. Absolutely. You don't have to have results already. Just play, understand it, see the power. And when you see the power, you're going to be more hungry to use it. And when you see results, then you're going to want to use it more. Yeah. So my motto is, I told you about, is this a neuroscience also thing? Everybody out there say adapt or die. This is the negative message. And eventually, I'm not sure if you're going to die and how soon. Okay, maybe you will not. Yeah. But my message is adapt and fly, because maybe you will not die, but for sure you're not going to fly at least as high as you can, because AI can enhance you. So if they keep an open mind, if they play around, if they, they have their inner curiosity cultivated, whatever, and also they understand that this is a huge revolution. It's not a hype, it's not a trend, it's not going to go away. Yeah. It's going to change the foundation of how we think, not only work, how we think, because it's going to enhance the way we think. It's going to change the foundation of how we work. It's going to change the foundation of how we relate to each other. Sure. As social media did. Yeah. And we know the example. Correct. Now it's going to get faster and more, better or worse, whatever you can imagine, because every great power, it comes with great benefits, but also great risks. Yeah. So we're going to see many, it's going to be very exciting the next 3 or 4 years. You're going to see movements against AI. We're going to see people doing things that were impossible in the past. Yeah. Remember in the dinner we discussed about the first unicorn company that $1 billion. Have $1 billion, one person billion unicorn. We're going to see phenomenon like that. So my thing is, why should I be this guy or anybody or 10x my productivity or make my clients? You see how many ideas we shared that you can make your clients say, "Oh my God, they cannot speak about you with all this innovation and games and experience that you give them." So why not? I cannot find an answer to that. If you have, I am open to listen. But.
Thank you so much for that, Panos. It's a pleasure speaking with you. How can people find you? Where can they see you, or where can they follow you?
They can follow me in social media, so it's Panos Leledakis, and the number 1 in Instagram or all the other social media they can find like this. And I think that's enough. They can find us in Instagram or search IFA Academy.
IFA Academy. Thank you so much. And it was a pleasure talking to you. Love the energy, love the message. All the very best. And
the pleasure is all mine, my friend.
Thank you for being with us on the show.
Adapt and fly. Don't forget, adapt and fly.
Adapt and fly. And to all of our audience members watching, Do have a look up, follow Panos and listen to his message. I think it's fantastic. And I think, like Panos said, be open and experiment. I think that's the best thing that we can do for ourselves and our clients and our families. Till next time, thank you very much.